welcome to Mom Talk. We are always so glad to be with you. If we haven't met, I'm Anna, and my Mom Talk team is with me today. We've got Judy.
Hi.
And Christine and Michelle. So today is an Ask a Mom segment, and we asked for people to write into us with their questions, and this one is about marriage. And this is what was asked. How do you make a marriage work when there is no communication and everything is about baby? There is no affection or intimacy anymore. It makes me sad, and I want to give up. So, ladies, I can tell you that I work on a regular basis with moms of infants and preschoolers, and this woman is not alone in her struggle and how she's feeling. This is a very serious thing for sure. So, Christine, I wanted to start with you because you just have some pretty straightforward advice for her.
Well, I mean, the reality is your marriage will not work if there's no communication and there's no affection. It's just not going to last. It's not possible. So you need to do that because this is the man that you've promised to live the rest of your life with, right? Your baby is as adorable as they are going to grow up and they're going to go away.
That's right.
Right? And that's your job. That's your goal as a parent is to raise that kid to grow and to do the things on their own. So you need to communicate. If you're not communicating, you need to find time to do that. You say, I don't have time to do that. If we're all wrapped around the baby or work. You have to have time somewhere.
Right.
Chris and I, when we were little, when our kids were little, we took vacations. And maybe you can't do that. I will tell you that it was an amazing thing. So if you have the ability to do that, get out and do that. Take 2 days, 3 days, 5 days and go away. Or if it's not that, regular bedtimes were great for us. Our kids went to bed at 8 o'clock and then we had that time together. You need that. I have a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old, and I will still say to my 15 and 17-year-old, go to bed. Either go to bed, go to your room. I don't care if you necessarily need to go to sleep. Go read your book. Go finish your homework. So Dad and I have some time together. That's your main relationship. And I know that it sounds challenging at the moment. And I pray for you that that you're able to find that time.
Well, especially at the end of the night when you're exhausted from all day. Communication is hard because you've been communicating all day at work, if you're a spouse that works, or you're communicating all day with your kids. That I know on my behalf, I tend to flip out at my husband then because I realize, we need to communicate, and I'm just tired and I'm running on coffee and I just can't do that anymore. And so what encourages me is that, first of all, I've identified it, we need that time together. And then I'm encouraged because God, He gives me that hope. If I can get the focus off of my selfish whatever, He provides me hope and shows me glimpses of His goodness in that angst, in that struggle, in that fight. And even though the intimacy may not be where you think it should be right now, or you may not feel it, He's growing this intimacy that is getting deeper. That intimacy is getting stronger. And so that when you do get through that angst of it, you're going to be better with that, and your relationship is going to be stronger, but you have to fight for it. Fighting for your marriage is vital.
Are you saying the intimacy with God gets deeper, or the intimacy with a husband gets
both.
deeper?
I was initially saying husband, but of course, I mean, if you have that intimacy with God, you're naturally going to take your eyes off of yourself then and focus on your husband or your wife if you're a husband watching this. But yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Definitely.
And you were saying something about communication earlier.
One of the most common misconceptions is there's no communication. There is still communication going on. It's just not good communication. We have to learn how to get out of our box, get out of our norm, be completely selfless, and try to do things that the other person likes to do to hopefully open up those doors of communication and kind of create a new basis for that. Because we can't have everything focus on the baby. We've all been there, we've all done that, but you can't have everything be about the baby. You've got to find each other and let this be a season, like you're saying, the baby will eventually grow up and leave.
So your marriage is needy too.
Correct, exactly. So you have to find that season, but the most important thing is that it's not hopeless. God is still with you. God is still there. You still reach out to Him. It's not hopeless. And regardless of if it'll work or not, because there's no communication, God will still pull you through. I have been through the fire. I have come out with my scars, but I am still here. So you can still get through it, and your intimacy with God will be that much stronger as long as you still rely on Him.
And just really quickly, this is not for women who are in an abusive relationship.
Correct.
So if you are being physically or emotionally abused,
Right.
seek help.
Yes.
Right.
Whether it's a counselor,
Don't be
whether
afraid.
it's something even more serious than that. These are all good things that work for healthy individuals.
Yes.
Right.
But we want you to know that if you are struggling in an abusive marriage,
Yep.
seek help.
Right.
And please do that.
Right.
Please do
Don't be
that for
afraid.
yourself.
Yes, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you took the time to mention that. It's so important for sure. And I want to say too that counseling is not just for abusive marriages, but it's just
It's for healthy ones,
It's for
too.
healthy marriages too, and
Absolutely.
it's so important to get in there when the problems are still
Starting to
small,
rise, yes.
because you can say, oh well, you know, this is like normal and it's just small, but those weeds
grow.
can multiply and
Correct.
grow into many more. I wanted to comment about the communication thing and how it is easier once the kids are in bed. It's tempting to just watch TV or get on Facebook because that's not stressful. It doesn't
Right.
require work, and we've
Yeah.
been working all day. But the reality is that over time, those walls and the distance
Get bigger and bigger.
get bigger and bigger,
Absolutely.
and that intimacy just continues to grow that much
If
more.
you need help too, there are services like where you can get a date box shipped to your door.
Yes, 'cause
that
you
they
use those,
plan the
yes.
whole thing for
Yes.
you, and you don't have to do any of that.
Or
You
go
just-
anywhere.
The
You
kids
stay
are in
there,
bed.
yes.
You
Right.
stay at home.
So I want to make
can
sure
do it.
before the end of our segment that I do want to tell you that there is hope. Even if your marriage feels
Right.
dead, God can bring a hopeless marriage back to life.
Yes.
He has a story written just for you and your husband. You would need each other to be able to fully walk in God's plan for your life because you have become one in your marriage. And so sometimes women think, I'm educated, I'm independent, I don't need him. But you do.
too.
To live out your God story, you need him by your side. So keep fighting. Fight for your marriage. It is absolutely worth it.
Amen.
Thank you so much for being with us. We pray for marriages. We know they're under attack and we have hope. Now, that being said, the Real Life team will be back after this break to pray over prayer requests. If you would like prayer for your marriage, call in. The number is 888-665-4483. Someone will pray with you. Stay tuned. We'll be right back to pray.